Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a topic that's, well, it's really reshaping the tech landscape. The explosive growth of the software development artificial intelligence market.
Absolutely. It's moving incredibly fast.
And this isn't just hype. Our insights are powered by the latest data and projections from cognitive market research, so we've got a solid base here.
Right. Good data is key for understanding this.
Our mission today is clear.
Yeah.
We want to pull out the key insights, get a handle on this staggering growth rate, maybe uncover some surprising facts about how AI is changing software development globally.
And what it means for you listening right now.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. So when we talk about a market moving at a, well, staggering pace, this one really fits the description. Back in 2021, the whole market was valued at just over, what, $170 million?
$170.503 million to be precise. Yeah, it seems almost small now looking back.
It does, and here's where it gets fascinating. By 2025, that's projected to more than double, soaring up to $374.5 million.
That's a huge leap in just 4 years, isn't it?
Incredible.
But, if you think that's fast, the real eye-opener is the longer view. Looking out to 2033,
Okay.
we're talking about a market hitting a monumental $1.806 billion.
Wow, billion.
Billion, yeah. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of 21.739%.
That's consistently high growth.
Exactly. And what that tells us, is that AI isn't just some add-on tool anymore. It's becoming fundamental. It's sort of reshaping the very blueprints of how software gets built, tested, deployed all over the world.
Like AI code suggestions, smarter debugging.
Precisely. Things like that, automated testing, even predicting deployment issues. It's not niche. It's becoming embedded in the whole life cycle. A global shift.
Okay, that global picture really sets the scene. Now let's drill down into the regions. North America seems to be taking a pretty substantial lead here.
Definitely a major player.
Yeah, the region pulled in over $72 million back in 2021. That's set to more than double to nearly $156 million by 2025. But the jump to 2033 is remarkable, almost $730 million.
Yeah.
All riding on a strong CAGR of just over 21%.
Right, 21.276% to be exact.
So beyond that big number, what stands out when we break down North America by country?
Well, it's interesting because you see nuances within that dominance. The U.S., as you'd expect, is the powerhouse. It was nearly $58 million in 2021.
Right.
Projected to climb over $576 million by 2033. Big numbers.
Huge.
But look at Canada. It's actually showing an even stronger CAGR, 22.031%, growing from about $8.5 million to over $93.5 million.
What do you think that is? Higher growth rate there.
It often reflects, Canada's really vibrant tech hubs, strong government support, and maybe significant investment in AI research and startups. They punch above their weight sometimes.
Interesting. And Mexico?
Mexico's on a really promising path, too, climbing from under $6 million to over $60 million by 2033. That suggests a rapidly growing appetite for these AI development tools, kind of acting as a gateway to Latin America.
Okay, very strong showing in North America. But let's shift focus now. What about Europe?
Right, Europe.
The continent generated nearly $35 million in 2021. It's on track for over $74.5 million in 2025, and then a substantial $346.8 million by 2033. The CGR is just under North America's, around 21.2%.
So very healthy growth, yeah. 21.195%.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think, when you dig into the individual countries. What's driving that European growth? Any surprises?
Absolutely. Europe's growth is it's significant, but also really diverse across the continent. Take the UK, for instance.
Right.
Set to grow from around $5.5 million in 2021 to over $57 million by 2033. That's a strong CAGR, 21.54%.
Solid.
Then Germany, known for its industrial strength, is actually growing even faster, almost a 22% CAGR.
Wow.
Yeah, 21.93%, set to reach over $80 million. You can see it being adopted widely in manufacturing enterprise software.
Makes sense. What about France and Italy?
They're on a steady, strong climb as well. France heading towards almost $40 million by 2033. Italy towards $30 million. Russia also growing steadily, hitting over $16 million.
So it's not just the big economies then?
Not at all. And that's the key point, really. Even smaller economies like Luxembourg are seeing consistent growth, jumping from about $500,000 to over $5 million. It just shows how pervasive this AI and software trend has become.
Right across the board.
Exactly. Spain, Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland. They're all showing healthy KGRs, 20.5, 21, 21.5%. It's a broad systemic shift in how Europe builds software.
Okay, now, if we thought Europe was diverse and growing fast, We really have to talk about the Asia-Pacific region. You mentioned this earlier.
Ah, yes, APAC. The pace there is, well, quite remarkable.
It seems like an even more extraordinary scale-up. From just over $41 million in 2021,
Mm.
projected to hit over $94 million in 2025, and then nearly quintupling to almost $488 million by 2033.
That's a huge multiplier.
And it translates to a staggering KDR of 22.824%. That's the highest regional KDR we've seen so far.
It is a truly dynamic surge.
So what's behind this incredible momentum in APAC? Who are the leaders?
Well, China is certainly leading the charge in terms of market size, expanding from roughly $13.7 million to a, frankly, whopping $164.6 million by 2033. That's a 23.03% CAGR, a massive transformation.
Okay, China's a huge part of it.
But here's what might be the most surprising fact in all this data, I think. India.
Oh, tell me more.
India started at just over $5 million back in 2021. It's projected to shoot up to nearly $68 million by 2033.
68 million.
That's an incredible 23.916% CAGR, the highest individual country CAGR in the entire data set we're looking at.
Wow. What's driving that specifically in India?
It points to several things, I think. India's huge and growing developer ecosystem, for one, plus increasing investment in AI-first startups and a really strong government push for digital transformation. It's positioning itself as a potential future leader in AI innovation.
That's fascinating. What about other key players in the region?
Japan is also performing strongly, market rising to nearly $79 million by 2033. And beyond these giants, you've got South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Taiwan. They're all showing CGRs well over 21%.
Driven by similar factors. Digital transformation, startups.
Yeah, robust digital infrastructure helps. Proactive government AI strategies in places like Singapore, booming tech startup scenes. It's a combination. Even the rest of APAC's category confirms the trend, growing significantly to over $42 million. It's continent-wide.
Incredible growth across Asia-Pacific. Okay, let's group our final set of regions. South America, the Middle East, and Africa.
Right. Emerging but dynamic markets.
Yeah, it's interesting. They might not have the sheer scale of, say, North America or APAC yet, but they seem to be showing similar strong dynamics in adopting AI for software development. What are the key takeaways here?
Indeed. So South America's regional market, for instance, is projected to grow from just over $10 million in 2021 to over $112 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of 22.091%.
Still over 22%. Very strong.
Very strong. Brazil's the biggest player there, set to grow to over $41 million. But look at Argentina showing an even higher CAGR again, over 22.6%, climbing to over $23 million.
Another case of a slightly smaller market growing faster.
Exactly. Reflects growing tech sectors across the continent. Colombia, Peru, Chile also seeing significant growth. There's a real embrace of AI solutions happening.
And the Middle East.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they're very similar dynamics, yeah. Expanding from about $7 million to almost $78 million by 2033. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE, they're all posting CGRs around that 22% mark.
What's the focus there?
Seems to be driven by a rapidly growing appetite for these AI development tools, especially in things like smart city initiatives and the booming fintech sector there.
Okay. And finally, Africa.
Africa is really emerging as a significant frontier for this. The market revenue is increasing from just under $5 million in 2021 to over $51 million by 2033.
That shows real penetration, doesn't it?
Mm.
Even in ecosystems that are maybe still developing digitally.
Absolutely. It demonstrates AI is reaching everywhere. South Africa is kind of the key regional hub there, projected to contribute over $23 million by 2033. And Nigeria is also showing a significant upward trajectory. It highlights the long-term potential across the continent.
So when we pull all these numbers, all these regional stories together, what does it all mean for you listening? It seems abundantly clear. The software development AI market isn't just growing.
It's exploding globally.
Yeah.
That's right. And whether you're, a developer actually writing code in Bangalore, or you're managing projects in Berlin, maybe investing in innovation from Silicon Valley, or launching a startup down in São Paulo.
Right.
What these figures really show unequivocally is that AI is fundamentally reshaping the very core of how software gets built, tested, and deployed everywhere.
It's not just efficiency gains, is it?
No, it's much deeper than that. It's more like a complete re-architecture of the whole development lifecycle. It's empowering developers with tools for everything from, generating routine code to identifying really complex bugs, maybe even automating entire deployment pipelines.
So the takeaway message is,
If you're a developer, if you're an investor, an enterprise innovator, or honestly just someone who uses software every day,
Which is pretty much everyone.
pretty much everyone, yeah. Now is absolutely the time to pay deep attention to this. Think about how these changes impact your job, your company's strategy, or even just the apps you use daily.
That's a great point. Well, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the software development AI market.
It's been fascinating to track these numbers.
Definitely. And today's insights, as always, were powered by the meticulous research from Cognitive Market Research.
Great data.
So as you reflect on what we've discussed, really consider that profound shift AI is bringing to, well, every corner of software development. How might these rapid changes impact your industry, your skills, or even just your daily digital life? What stands out most to you?
Lots to think about.
Indeed. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive. Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today we're getting right into something that's really changing things, how AI is fundamentally reshaping software development.
Hmm.
If you're looking for a clear path to, understand this big shift, you're definitely in the right place.
Yeah, and it's incredibly critical right now. Businesses are under just immense pressure to speed up their software development, especially, in this digital first, super competitive world we're in. And our insights today, they're based on some exclusive market intelligence from cognitive market research. So it gives us a really solid base for our discussion.
Okay, great. So our mission here is pretty straightforward. We're looking at how AI isn't just like another trend, but a real game changer. We'll explore the amazing opportunities it's creating, but also look at the challenges, the hurdles, and ultimately figure out what this all might mean for you and your place in this tech space as it evolves.
Let's unpack it. Okay, so let's start with the immediate effects, the things we're seeing right now. AI is, well, it's automating those repetitive coding bits, isn't it? Making debugging much less of a headache
That's no less painful.
and really cutting down the time it takes to get products out there. But what's really revolutionary, I think, isn't just saving time. It's changing what a developer is.
How so?
Well, they're becoming less of a coder, maybe, and more like an AI architect. They're prompting, guiding the AI, refining the output. It's fundamentally reskilling the whole profession. That feels like a huge strategic shift.
It absolutely is. And, something that often gets missed is how deep this goes into the modern software process,
Hmm.
particularly within cloud-based DevOps frameworks.
Yeah.
Right, DevOps,
Yeah.
bringing development and operations closer together.
Exactly. Think of it as that tight collaborative loop. AI doesn't just automate bits of that. It turbocharges the whole thing. It improves the CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous delivery.
Right.
You get intelligent testing that actually learns, predictive maintenance that spots issues before they cause failures, and even code optimization that fine-tunes performance while the code's being written. It's essentially making the pipeline smarter, self-improving almost,
Wow.
delivering that speed, scalability, and error reduction that, agile businesses really need.
And the market seems to be buying into this big time, right? I mean, look at the investment pouring in. You see giants like GitHub, loads of innovative startups too. It suggests this is more than just talk.
It really does. That investment is critical. It's what's driving the rapid development of specific tools we're seeing. Tools like GitHub Copilot or
The
Tab9.
coding assistants.
Yeah, but they're much more than just fancy autocomplete now. They actively help developers write cleaner code, more efficient code, and maybe most importantly, they help write it much, much faster. So yeah, this isn't just incremental change. It really signals that these AI-driven platforms are fast becoming the new standard for building software.
Okay, so we've covered the potential, the upside, but let's get real for a second. It can't all be smooth sailing. Integrating AI. It's got to have its challenges, right? What are the big roadblocks companies are hitting?
You're right, it's not just plug and play. One of the first major hurdles is simply integrating with legacy systems. So many companies are dealing with, older infrastructure, maybe they don't have good APIs, those digital handshakes between systems.
The connectors?
Exactly. And trying to bolt cutting-edge AI onto that, it often means really expensive overhauls, or at best, these time-consuming workarounds that just slow everything down.
I can see that. Like trying to plug a spaceship into a horse cart.
Something like that.
And even if the tech could connect, you need the right people, presumably. That sounds like another bottleneck.
Precisely. That leads straight to the talent shortage issue. There's a real pressing need for people who get software development and have specialized AI skills. Finding both in one person is tough.
Yeah.
So this gap means companies often lean on expensive consultants, or they have to invest in really long training programs for their current teams. It definitely creates a barrier.
And, okay, beyond the tech and the talent,
Mm.
what about security?
Right.
Privacy.
Right.
When you have AI systems scanning through potentially sensitive source code, especially up in the cloud, that must ring some alarm bells.
Oh, it absolutely does. And it's a really critical balancing act companies have to perform. When AI scans source code, particularly cloud-hosted code, it raises very legitimate concerns. We're talking sensitive business logic, customer data maybe, compliance rules, protecting intellectual property.
Right, the crown jewels.
Exactly. So companies are constantly doing this complex risk-benefit calculation, weighing the clear advantages of the AI tools against the real risks of breaches or misuse. It's a constant challenge securing these new ways of working. It's definitely not trivial.
Okay, so there are definitely hurdles, but despite them, the innovation clearly isn't slowing down. The cutting edge of AI and development seems to be moving incredibly fast.
Yeah.
What's emerging there? What's exciting?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. The real frontier now is generative AI. We're talking about models like OpenAI's Codex, GPT-4, and similar ones. These aren't just helping out, they're actually creating code.
Creating it. How?
Developers can describe what they need in, plain English, natural language. And these models can generate whole blocks of code, sometimes even complex functions based on that prompt. It's like turning thought directly into working code.
Wow.
It makes the whole process faster, obviously, but also smarter and much more collaborative, actually.
So maybe AI can finally end those horrible late-night debugging sessions where you're just staring,
Yeah.
convinced the bug is mocking you.
Wouldn't that be something? And it ties into the next point. Enhanced quality assurance, or QA. AI tools are getting seriously good at improving QA. They can do things like predict bugs before they even show up in testing.
Really? Predict them?
Yeah, based on patterns in the code or past issues, they can suggest fixes right away, optimize performance automatically. Think about how much time gets sunk into QA bottlenecks. AI can help overcome those, letting teams release better, more reliable products, and much faster.
That sounds incredibly valuable.
It is, but maybe one of the most compelling trends, personally, is the rise of these personalized AI coding assistants.
Personalized? How?
Well, they're not just generic tools anymore. They actually learn your habits as a developer. They adapt to your specific coding style. They integrate really smoothly into the tools you already use.
So like a custom-tuned assistant.
Exactly. They're moving beyond being just utilities. They're becoming more like true collaborators. They handle the grunt work, freeing you up, which boosts not just productivity, but potentially creativity too.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive today,
Yeah.
it seems undeniable. AI is a massive force in software development, huge potential for innovation, pushing boundaries, but definitely comes with real hurdles, things that need careful thought, strategic planning.
Absolutely. Which sort of leads to a final thought, maybe a question for you, the listener. Considering this rapid rise of personalized AI collaborators, these partners almost, how do you think the role of the human developer is going to evolve in the next few years? And maybe more importantly, what new opportunities could this shift create specifically for you in this changing landscape?
It's a fascinating question, and this field is just evolving so quickly, changing by the minute, really. We've only scratched the surface today. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the future of software development. Definitely keep exploring this space.